It's time now for our weekly visit with the greatest kicker in NFL history, Brandon Aubrey.
Oh, thanks for having me. That's maybe a little bit preemptive there, but I still think Tucker's the GOAT despite the struggles he's going through this year.
Does that have you shook a little bit?
No, I mean every athlete goes through ups and downs, and it's pretty crazy. He hasn't experienced it just like this yet, so I'm sure he'll bounce back.
It's got to, I mean, I'll just be candid with you since we, do shows when you're not here and stuff. It's just got to be you have to be very mentally strong to do your job, and that's why not everyone can do it among a whole list of other things. But I think I would always just be worried, like, man, I wonder if this is the last one.
Yeah, absolutely. And every kick, every first kick of the game of each game, you go out there and wonder, do I still got this? So that's part of the fun, just feeling that adrenaline pump through your veins, the I don't know, the worry, all that kind of it all rushes through me every game, and just kind of have to flush it out and focus on just taking a step because sometimes even taking that first step towards the ball can just be nerve-wracking. So yeah, absolutely got to be mentally strong and just push all those feelings aside and go get your job done.
Like, do you look at the kicker stats and see where you rank and everything?
Yeah, I check every once in a while. I try not to. It's not important as, I mean, it is important in Pro Bowl voting and all pro awards and all stuff like that, which help your contract. But if you're thinking about that stuff outside of the game, sometimes it creeps into the game. And you have goals set for yourself that you want to hit, and you shouldn't be thinking about those out on the field. Sometimes it does because they're especially in those Washington games where a couple go south, and you start to think, can I still hit my goal for the year? Because I mean, that's how small the sample size is for a kicker. One bad game can really ruin your season, and I think we saw that with a lot of kickers this year or this week because it was a rough week, rough weather for kicking, and a lot of guys had not their best showings.
You have a goal for the year?
Yeah, I mean, my goal every year is to be 90%. That would, at this point, make you the most accurate kicker in the league if you can, in the history of the league, if you can sustain that over year. So I think the most accurate kicker right now, I mean, I think it was Tucker, and now it's Eddie Pinheiro out there in Carolina. He missed twice this week as well, so I'm not sure if it's still him, but he was sitting at 89% before this weekend on his career. So 90% is a lofty goal, but one that if I just take it season to season, I think I can achieve.
You know what? I was actually looking at kicker stats this morning, and Eddie Pinheiro
Oh
stood
wow!
out to me because as you're looking at the different, splits and breakdowns, it's like, wow, look at Brandon kicks a ton over 50. Like, they have
Yeah.
huge confidence in you, and you make most of them.
Yes.
Oddly enough, like, your percentage over 50 is better than your percentage under 50, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a small sample size. That'll probably over the course of
Excuse me.
my career even out. But yeah, the coaching staff has a lot of faith in me at the 50 plus, which I think we're starting to see around the league as well. A lot more. I don't really know historical stats, but it seems like guys are kicking 50 pluses at a higher rate this year. And until this week, and really, or last week, it felt like more and more of them were going in.
Yeah, well, so you've kicked 11. You've made 10 of 11.
Yeah.
Fairbarn, 16. They've given him 16 tries to do it. He's made
Yeah.
13, actually.
Yeah, he's a
Eddie,
great kicker. He needs those opportunities and those moments when you don't have to punt there. Help your punter stats out as well because they're worried about their net, which is how far the ball travels from the line of scrimmage minus the return yardage there. So it's basically where the other team starts the ball from where it was kicked, and that's the big one for punters. So having a kicker who can hit those 50 plus yard balls and maybe even a 60-yard ball helps them get more open field punts than going in like those little flip flop punts where they're trying to pin a team deep, which I-20, which is inside 20 is a good stat for punter, but the big one is your average net
okay,
yardage.
wait. I want to go back to that in a second, but just to follow
Yeah.
up, Eddie Pinheiro, he's only 1 for 1 this year. They've tried it
Yeah.
once,
Hmm.
and he is a good kicker, but I just find that somewhat interesting. The punter thing, I was wondering when Brian Banger gets a punt blocked,
Yeah.
does that count against his net? Because if you get a kick blocked, that will count as a missed kick. And I think that can be unfair.
Yeah, well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Yeah, with the one blocked by the Commanders, that one feels bad because that's nothing I can do about that one. But the Pittsburgh one, they're not all blocks are made the same. So the Pittsburgh one should be my stat for sure because I hit it low and it was a pretty low hanging fruit for them to block. But with the punter blocks, there's an interesting thing. There's like a blocked punt and a tipped punt. A tipped punt goes past the line of scrimmage before it hits the ground, and that does count on their punt stats, which is brutal. Brian had one of those this year where it got his blocked punt went past the line of scrimmage and rolled. He got lucky on the roll. It rolled out from like I think it was a 12-yard in air, and then it rolled to 27 yards. So he got 27 yards net out of that, which is not ideal. But yeah, if it gets blocked and goes backwards, then it doesn't count as a punt stat.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy that people. I mean, I know teams they're scouting, they're watching tape, they're looking at deep numbers. But even hearing you say, 90%, I get it, but not all those kicks are created the same, and the sample sizes are so small. So, I just wish there was a way they were weighted differently. I know they're not going to show up differently on the scoreboard, but it's like if your percentage is a few percentage points below the kicker we just referenced, but he's got one attempt over 50.
Yeah,
that's not the same. But
that's why you got to turn on film and go watch it.
Yeah.
And Eddie's been great, and obviously he made his attempt from over 50. So I mean, it's just that's where the coaching staff actually plays a part in that too. I haven't seen much Pinheiro over the course of his career. Being on the Panthers, they're not really televised here very often, so it's tough to get a glimpse of what he's doing over there. But I imagine if you gave him more 50-plus opportunities, he'd make them at probably 80-85% clip too. So that's where I'm also blessed to have such an aggressive coaching staff with Bones and McCarthy that let me swing away.
They're playing here this year, or I don't know if you're playing there. You're playing Carolina still, but like before the game, do you go over and chat with the opposing kicker?
Yeah, I do a little bit. I'm not a super talkative guy, but especially when I'm trying to get locked in and focused for the game and find my swing. But I'll go over and chat with the other three specialists, just kind of feel them out, see how they're doing, tell them I'm impressed by them, that sort of thing. But I'll definitely get a chance to chat with Pinheiro. Will we go to Carolina? I think not this week, but next week.
Yeah. Who are you playing this week? Do you know?
Bengals.
That's right.
He's an NFL fan.
When is it?
Monday night. We got the Simpsons simulcast, which I'm excited. I'm actually have to watch the broadcast back because I kind of want to see what I look like as a Simpsons character.
Were you guys told about that?
I just saw it last night.
Okay.
As a character, how does this work? I thought it was just the announcers.
No, it's the whole
the team.
I don't know what they do if there's a big injury or something, but
I have no idea.
Yeah, how's the Simpsons going to make the metal fall from the roof?
No, I don't know.
Or the sunlight. No, we can't do the sunlight. It'll be a night game.
Yeah, you're going to watch little Simpsons characters playing football, just like they did with the Toy Story thing.
Yeah.
If you remember that one.
I kind of don't. They should do that.
You don't remember because the Toy Story one we were.
I don't remember the characters playing.
It's a positive story in the end. He had a pick just the other night, but we were joking around about like what if they had the Toy Story thing and like the DeMar Hamlin thing happened.
Oh, that's right.
Like how do they sort through that? They got to just bail on it, I assume. But yeah, that will be cool. I mean, I don't know. Not that your kids are possibly ever going to be into The Simpsons, but it's something cool you might be able to show them one day.
So home games, you guys will stay in a hotel the night before. Do you stay in a hotel?
The rookies do, and anyone who wants to stay in the hotel can, but you're not required to.
Oh,
so with Colton being so young, I do. I personally choose to get the best sleep I can.
Okay, I thought that everybody did. All right, so the rookies, and if you choose to.
Yep.
Do they do that for a night game too? That seems like a long time to.
Yeah, but I mean, you can leave whenever you want in the morning. but we'll have meetings in the facility, special teams and team meeting all in the morning of the game on night games.
Okay. Did they make you have a roommate when you were a rookie?
No, no.
Okay.
Past that, thankfully.
At camp, do you room with Anger?
No roommates in camp either. So we got yeah, no, it's nice. That would make it a lot longer of a camp if you had to have a roommate and no personal space. So they do it right. They give us our own room. We got like a kitchen in there. Got a full bathroom, so we got everything we need.
Bathtub?
Bathtub.
Jake
Oh,
likes
yeah.
to take a bath in a hotel, and I think that's disgusting.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you on that one. Not the hotel tub, but I have a tub at home. I like hopping in every once in a while.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a big bath guy. Oh, don't. Yeah.
You
guys
could go at home.
You make fun of me for that too.
I do, but I have actually got. I just won't go in a hotel bath.
Brandon is a professional athlete. He probably needs a bath.
Yeah, Epsom salts, dude. I'm out here running.
Oh, yep.
You look fit.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
It turns out I had to stop consuming empty calories in the form of alcohol, Brandon, and you lose.
Yeah,
It
that
turns out
helps.
you lose a lot of weight. Speaking of, Dan asking you if you knew who you played next, we've always been amazed by this, and really we shouldn't be. But there was a report a couple of weeks ago on the Sunday Morning Countdown on ESPN. I think it might have been Puka Nakua had just found out what division the Rams play in.
No way.
And we've done this at camp before, and you quickly learn that for a lot of NFL players, they're not necessarily huge NFL fans.
The rookies for sure.
The
Once
rookies
you've been
for
in the
sure.
league for a while, you might know who you're.
Right. Oh, it seems like we play this team a lot.
Yeah,
But
which is what Puka's figuring out now.
yeah, and I just thought that was interesting. Like, there's got to be a lot of guys who just love playing football, but that's kind of where it ends.
Yeah, I don't know how you make it because he's in his into your second season without knowing who's your division, especially when everyone in your division 6-6. Like, and because I pay attention to all the teams that are in the wild card hunt with us. Like this weekend was fun. Got Sunday night or all Sunday to watch all of my division rivals play, and even the Cardinals, Seahawks, all those teams that are ahead of us in the wild card standings, the 49ers, just watching them play just because I have a vested rooting interest now. I want them to lose so we can obviously make the playoffs. That's just me. I don't know how you lived in that big of a under that big of a rock to not understand what division you're in, but hey, it's working for him. He's having a hell of a career.
He might also be doing the deal where every athlete, I think of LeBron mostly, is the king of it, no pun intended, of I just don't hear the outside noise. But it's very clear that he hears everything.
Yeah.
Because he'll bring it up to media. So you mentioned watching games on Sunday. What was, I guess, Thursday after game on, like family-wise, meals, all that stuff?
Yeah, Friday was just relaxation. Went over to my wife's family friend's place, and they do like a turkey bowl with all of their family and whatever family friends want to come by. So I just sat there and hung out with them. And then Saturday was my family's Thanksgiving celebration. So we had my parents hosted, my dad cooked a nice turkey, and everyone brought some sides, and it was nice. I just got to see both because my in-laws come too. Jen's parents come, my parents are there, my brother, his wife, and their kids. And sometimes if my brother's wife's parents are around, they come as well. So it was a lot of fun. Got to see everyone and just have some good food. So it's normal Thanksgiving, and then Sunday it's the day of football. So just sat down and watched football like I was a fan again, which was a lot of fun.
You go red zone?
No, I used to, but it kind of makes me feel like I'm not getting the details of one game and just kind of get a little ADD feeling that
Yeah.
I just wanted it to last, drag out as long as possible. So I just flipped back and forth between the Steelers Bengals game because we're obviously playing the Bengals next, and then the Cardinals Vikings game. So I was pulling for them Cardinals to take a loss.
Can you name every team's kicker if I just threw you any team?
Yeah,
Like
I'm
Bengals?
pretty sure.
Who do we got in the Bengals?
Bengals, Evan McPherson.
Okay. We'll just we'll occasionally throw one out just to see if you actually can.
Sounds good.
Football wise, so during the game, I notice other teams are not even kicking to Turpin anymore, or at least they didn't this past game. What is your goal on kickoffs? Because they only had one return on yours, and it was actually for 36 yards. So I would imagine that's not the goal.
Yeah, goal is decided on each week, even each kick. We could do a little huddle before the kickoff, and that's where I get my marching orders. So the first two kickoffs were put in play to a particular player based on wherever they line up, and then after that, obviously we had the tough injury to Wanye, who's been a superstar for us on special teams. So hopefully we can get him back in some capacity before the end of the year, because I think he was pushing for Pro Bowl with how well he was playing on special teams. But after that injury, with him and Marquise Bell, who's another superstar on special teams, out, it's just touchbacks. So we had, I think, four more kickoffs, and we just wanted touchbacks at that point. So just smash them as far as they can. Back
So
to the old
what's
days.
a touchback now?
30.
30?
30, yeah.
Okay. It's a little confusing, but I don't know. Where do you stand so far? Do you like the new one, the new kickoffs?
I love the new kickoffs. I think it's exciting. It brings value to players like the ones I just mentioned with Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell. They're going out there and getting double-digit tackles. We have a couple of other guys on special teams that play all four phases, and now with kickoff, putting the ball back in play, that's like another 50 or so tackles if you do it consistently on the board for guys to go get stats and bring to their agents so they can negotiate better contracts. So I think that's a lot of fun, and then it brings value to guys like Turp who can really return the ball. If you mess up and hit one off your toe and put it in play, then you're going to have to get him on the ground or give up 7 points. So I enjoy it, and it gives me something to go out and practice, and can kind of have mind games with the return team out there. Line up, like I'm going right, kick it left, line up left, go right, line up left, go left, just hit a knuckleball. It's a lot more fun. And going back to hit those touchbacks, we tried to hit 2 in Washington, but I hadn't practiced that in so long and my form got a bit rusty. So I kind of towed them and put them 2 or 3 deep, and then they're able to bring them out if they wanted to. But I got that form back in this game and was just kind of hammering them out the back. But, that's a lot more stressful on my leg than just putting them in play with very little hang time. So I enjoy the new kickoffs. Long-winded way to say I love the new kickoff.
So on the times where you are just going to bang it through, if you're going to have to do it, take the wear and tear on your leg, next year, what if we aim for the kettle?
Ooh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think of that.
That's why I'm here. I didn't either. But now,
Yeah.
next year, just one of them, just really let it rip and see if
But that'll get on all the highlights.
it'll get on highlights. And you know what that means? It'll mean more money for the Salvation Army.
And Jerry will
Absolutely.
love that. Yeah, you'll get a contract that
As
day.
long as I don't get the fine, I'm not in it, right? It's just the ball, so I can't find that.
Yeah.
And then the Overshone batted that pass in the air, and that was the first play of a drive. Did you have your helmet on? And were you ready to get right back out there?
So normally I would be sitting down on the bench watching defense, but Wanye just got injured because I was right after the Wanye injury, and obviously he's near and dear to my heart. So I was kind of talking with the medical staff, trying to see if I could figure out what was going on. And I had my back to the field. I wasn't really paying attention. My helmet was on the bench where I should have been. So yeah, it was a mess. I had to sprint over, grab my helmet, and get on the field. But luckily, been there, done that now, so I'm able to handle that.
Okay. Was wondering about that. Let me ask you this. I don't know if Jake knows about this. Who is Brianna Ladwig? Do you know?
Oh, that's the illustrator for the book. Jen just
Is
saved
Jen
me from
listening
the
to
other
our
room.
show?
Wow. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. No, she's awesome. Jen's always paying attention.
Always lurking somewhere. That's funny.
She's feeding Colton in the other room, so she's ears wide open.
Okay. So, yes, you are the author of a children's book.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the production company Kraken Book approached my there it is. Yeah, approached my agent, and basically just wanted to tell my story in the form of a children's book. And Jefferson Knapp, who is kind of running the project, is a writer. He sat down with me and had me go over my story with him. And then he turned it into just the rhymes you'll see, like kind of one paragraph rhymes that you'd see in a children's book. And we went back and forth editing it. But yeah, Jefferson did the majority of the writing, just listened to my story and put it together. And then Bree is handling the illustrations, and you can see how great those look. Kind of just giving input on what the illustrations, what idea I have ideas for illustrations, and then she brings them to life, sends them off to me, and I kind of approve them or ask her to change a few things here and there. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to work on. Jefferson and Bree are handling absolutely the lion's share of the work. I'm just kind of here as creative input and just putting my brand on it and my story in it. So happy to be a part of this. It's been an awesome experience.
Dallas Cowboys All-Pro kicker Brandon Aubrey introduces his first children's book, One Dream in Front of the Other. What do you do when you get so close to a dream only to see it unfulfilled? What if you knew a bigger dream was right around the corner? Brandon Aubrey's One Dream in Front of the Other will give young readers an inspiration on the journey through Aubrey's life story from a childhood dream of professional soccer to instead becoming an All-Pro kicker for the Dallas Cowboys. The life lessons along the way will teach you when one door is closed, another could be opening. The first 1,000 pre-orders autographed by Brandon Aubrey.
Hey now.
I got one in the cart at KrakenBooks.com right now.
Is that
Love
where it is?
that.
I
Kraken
don't
Books?
even want the freebie. I just kind of assumed, pretty presumptuously there, that he would give us a freebie.
Yeah, tell Jen I want one.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll work on it.
Also, I really do appreciate the first line there that Dan read. Dallas Cowboys All-Pro kicker Brandon Aubrey introduces his first children's book.
With the assumption.
Again, that there will be a long line of these, which, why not?
Yeah.
Why
Sure.
not?
Let's see how this one does, and maybe there'll be more.
Maybe this will be, it'll be the third door opened or whatever, right?
You shall
When I'm on to
Silverstein
the
or something.
MLB, right?
Yeah, what if, like, he's becomes the new
He
whatever?
fights Jake Paul.
Did you
I
watch
don't know
that?
about fighting. I tried. I couldn't get the stream.
Yeah, we
to
talked
work.
about this.
Oh, we did?
He
All
bailed
right.
out.
Frustrating.
Okay.
Netflix. Jerry couldn't get him a
Yeah.
good hookup.
So yesterday, I saw you visited the Children's Hospital, and I think I'm kind of with you that, I mean, you had such a quick rise to the NFL. Like, are you used to people thinking you're awesome yet? Like, is that still weird for you?
Yeah, it's very weird. I feel like just a generic white guy walking through the mall sometimes or whatever, and he gets stopped. Like yesterday, I went to Target just to grab some diapers, and I'm carrying a box of diapers, wearing just like a old beaten up T-shirt that I sleep in that I probably should have changed before I went out, and some sweatpants, and some kid stopped me and was like, "Hey, you look really familiar. Are you Brandon Aubrey?" I'm like, "Oh gosh, yes, yes," but no, you don't get used to it. And I don't really, I just don't know how to describe it. It's a weird feeling. But I'm thankful for it. It means I'm doing well, and people are excited that I'm on the team. So hopefully it stays that way.
No, it's really cool.
You shouldn't wear the helmet, though.
Yeah, why did you have
gives it away.
why did you have one black and one white shoe on at Target?
Yes, I don't understand how people recognize.
I know, it's weird.
Kicker out in public.
The real question though is how the wife feels about like being noticed, because for us, I'll just say for me, the very little bit of notoriety we get, my wife is very quick to be like, "You're really not shit though. Like, let's make sure you know, like it's just cool you got this thing going, but you know."
I think it's the other way around here. Jen thinks I'm really cool and everyone should want to see me and meet me, but I kind of think the exact opposite of that. So I think we got the opposite going here.
Takes all types.
Yeah.
I got another thing to show you that I don't know if somebody sent me this. Can you pull it up, Blake? Sure. I think I can't because of my audio, but it's a new sport apparently that's sweeping some nations.
Yeah.
Foot golf. So basically it's soccer with a giant hole.
Okay.
Soccer balls. And actually, I mean, it's the full course. You will.
Oh, look at that slope.
you go to a golf. It's basically use a golf course, but just make the hole really big. This is a very tough kick this guy's going to make.
Oh, yeah. I like what he did there.
You have to read that green.
Get in there.
Oh,
That's cool.
I love it.
I've seen a hole in one. Somebody kick off from whatever. It's. Have you seen that? And would you like to be a part of that?
I've seen it on Instagram, and maybe that's a retirement sport, but probably can't enjoy some beverages out on that course like you can with golf. So I might just stick with golf. Don't want to take myself too seriously when I'm doing stuff like that, and I feel like with it being in my realm, I would definitely take myself way too seriously doing something like that. So I'll stick with golf.
Are you a golf guy?
I want to be. I'm just terrible. Lucky to break 100.
Who do you play with?
A lot of my wife's coworkers, and then some occasionally the specialists will get a chance to go out and play. Not so much in season, but training camp, try and go out and play once or twice.
Well, I figured all the kickers would get together in the off season and play.
They used to. Brian was telling me about one of the kickers putting, I think it was Jack Scobie. I think Josh Scobie it might have been who put on an event like that for all the kickers to go out, kickers, punters, long snappers, all the specialists. But I'm not aware of one now. So yeah, if anybody wants to take up that task of putting something like that on for the specialists, I'd show up.
Well, why not be the guy?
Yeah, I'm a terrible planner.
Oh,
You're the all-pro. You got to lead from the front.
Man, yeah.
Tampa
Hopefully the
Bay's
punter
kicker.
can take
Tampa
that up.
Bay's kicker. Who's Tampa Bay's kicker?
Chase McLaughlin.
Okay.
it's impressive.
Just wanted to see.
It's impressive. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time today, and let's get this
Arizona
next one.
kicker?
Raiders on IR, so now we got Chad Ryland there.
Wow.
Man,
wow.
that's extra credit.
Too deep on the specialist.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Jake.
No, you're fine. We're done. You guys enjoy the week. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.